This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, we start our countdown to this year's Bloomsburg Fair. We'll tell you how to get ready for the fair next. Welcome everyone to FYI on SSPTV and SSPTV.com. I'm Ken Carr and I can't wait to talk about the fair, but first we do have headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court has suspended the state attorney general's law license. The suspension means that Kathleen Kane cannot practice law, but the state's highest court did not remove her from office. However, it's not clear if Kane can continue to operate as attorney general with the suspension. The state's constitution says the attorney general must be a member of the bar of the state Supreme Court. Kane faces charges of obstruction, conspiracy, and perjury. Prosecutors say she leaked information from grand jury testimony to the press. Kane says she's innocent. There's been a lot of people waiting for this week for a long time as Pope Francis makes his visit to Philadelphia. The Pope is scheduled to arrive in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday evening. He'll be in our nation's capital on Wednesday, where he will visit with President Barack Obama and members of Congress. He'll make his way to New York City for Thursday and Friday, where one of his stops will be for a multi-religious service at the 9/11 memorial site. On Friday, the Pope will arrive in Philadelphia for the Festival of Families. He'll celebrate Mass on Sunday on Benjamin Franklin Parkway. For a full schedule of events, you can go to worldmeeting2015.org. We'll have more on the Pope's visit this week on FYI, and our intern, Erin Harvey, will be covering the event this weekend. We'll have her on next week. A 27-year-old Hazleton man was shot over the weekend. Hazleton police say it happened just after 3 a.m. on Saturday in the 500 block of McKinley Street. Police say that the victim, whose name has not been released, was shot once. Police also reported that multiple shots were fired. There's no word on the victim's condition. Anyone with information on the shooting is asked to call Hazleton police by dialing 911. And Hazleton police are looking for the man who robbed CB's Gas Mart on West Broad Street in Hazleton. A dark-skinned man with a gun entered the store around 8:30 last night and demanded money. He then fled on foot with an undetermined amount of cash. There were no injuries reported. Again, anyone with information, please contact the Hazleton police. A man was allegedly caught in the act while burglarizing a Hazleton church. Hazleton police arrested 43-year-old Frederick Glad after responding to a burglary in process on Friday night. Police say that Glad was removing music equipment from the basement of St. Gabriel's Church in Hazleton on North Wyoming Street. Glad is charged with burglary, criminal trespass, receiving stolen property, theft, possessing instruments of crime, and more. He was taken to Luzerne County Prison for overnight arraignment. The Hazleton Area Boxing Club has added 2 more big names to their list of instructors and mentors. Former NFL players Lamont White and Aaron Beasley will be helping out the kids at the Hazleton One Community Center. White says he wants to get the kids in shape, and here's what else he brings to the table.
Well, sometimes outside of being a boxing conditioning coach for them, you gotta be like a father figure to them. You know, you gotta make sure they be a leader, not a follower. So that's what I know I could bring to the table by doing that, helping out with the boxing and keep them off the streets by make sure they make the right decisions.
Anything else you want to add about Hazleton?
Oh, well, I want everybody, you know, the little kids watching or get a chance of watching, you know, come down to the gym, get you in shape, and you're not going to be a boxer for that to get in shape. So I just want everybody to come out and just support Hazleton boxing.
White and Beasley are also organizing a winter football camp in the Hazleton area. If you're interested in boxing or the football camp, you can call 570-453-0640. And if you're interested in hearing more from White, who played for the Minnesota Vikings, and Beasley, who played for the Jacksonville Jaguars, the New York Jets, and the Atlanta Falcons, you can watch an all-new Sam Lassand show on Tuesday at 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. Plus, we'll have much more with both of them on FYI very soon, so stay tuned. Well, it's an event that draws people from near and far. I'm talking about the ever-popular Bloomsburg Fair. FYI's Janine Mazurkevich begins our week-long look at this year's big event.
It is the 160th anniversary here at the Bloomsburg Fair. It is happening soon. We are with the president of the Bloomsburg Fair right now, Paul Reichert. And Paul, thanks for having us back.
Well, we're very pleased that you can come over from Hazleton. It's great.
All right. Well, the Bloomsburg Fair attracts people from all over northeastern Pennsylvania and surrounding states.
That's correct. We have, when you go out in the parking lot and see the license plates all over the United States.
Okay. So what is new this year for the 160th?
Well, one thing is new. We're going to have fireworks on Wednesday night after the night show. And on the horticulture building is a new display with presented by Knoebels, which is a carousel with the music that they have over there at the park. And also we have a new area in the Farm Museum called Technology, March Technology Center, and we hope to get more technology things in there. It may be a little light this year, but it'll give us time to work on it next year.
For people who may not ever have been to the fair, I don't know many of those people, but people out there who have not been here, what is the Bloomsburg Fair all about?
Bloomsburg Fair is about a good entertainment, free entertainment. We have the night shows, which are costly, plus the food. We have over 1,000 vendors here on these fairgrounds. So they come for the food, they come to see the animals and some new products, farm machinery and such. But it's just a tremendous thing, and a lot of people come back for their reunions. It's great.
Okay, so on Friday, September 25th, which is the first day of the fair, there are some special things happening.
Yeah, actually, on the 25th, we have preview day where the gates open at 2 o'clock with a fee of $3, free parking. So people have an opportunity to get here early and see what's going on. The buildings aren't open because of the judging going on, etc. So that's why we have a preview day to get through this process.
You've been the president now for 4 years?
That's correct.
Okay, and what have you seen over the 4 years that you've been the president?
Well, one thing we had, my first year was the big flood, so we was completely washed out. But after that, it's been a really great. Our earnings have been great. We had a indebtedness of, the flood cost us approximately $3 million, and we borrowed $1.4 million. We're down to less than $200,000, and we got some money put away. So I feel very confident as a banker that we're in this financial status that we are in.
The Bloomsburg Fair always puts everyone in a good mood, and especially around the Bloomsburg area, everyone seems to be very excited.
Oh, very excited. You take all these local people around here to have their yards filled with cars. It gives them some income. Some of them pay their taxes through that. And it's just great. The hotels, motels are all filled up, and it's tremendous for this whole area.
Well, my mom and I will be back here during the fair to do another girls show with you because we had so much fun the last time we were here.
I know you did. I know you did. We look forward to that also.
We'll get you on some rides with us. What do you think?
Well, that's great. Just depends what kind of ride it is.
Okay, well, thank you to Paul, and everyone should come on out to the Bloomsburg Fair celebrating 160 years.
Thanks a lot, Janine. I'm hoping there's a whole segment on gyros coming up. We'll see. Well, there's still a lot to look forward to on this edition of FYI. Up next, we have our fitness segment plus our legal advice segment. And later in sports, we have some movement in the Cole Scale High School football rankings. Stay tuned for the big reveal coming up in just a little bit.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Hi, it's Monday. I'm Christy. Welcome back to Core Fitness. I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite people in the world, my beautiful sister, Nicole. And the reason that she's here today is because we're going to talk a little bit about bariatric surgery and what it really entails, and success story, which she absolutely is, and exercise afterward. So my sister is the middle of three, and we were always extremely active when we were little, but Nikki always had a little bit more of an issue keeping weight off. And last year she decided to change, 2 years ago, she decided to do something that would change her life and her family's life forever. So why don't you tell us about it, Nick?
So 2 years ago, May 15th, I had sleeve bariatric surgery. So it was in Allentown. Dr. Borst, hi Dr. Borst, did an awesome job. And yeah, my whole life, like Christy said, we were very active. And I just decided that it was time to take hold of my eating habits. And it was a year out before I actually had the surgery, so there was a bunch of classes and education, and
so it's not something that everyone can just jump into and decide, I'm a little bit overweight and I can have it done. The criteria is that you're either 100 pounds over your ideal weight, or that you're more than 40% of your body mass index, or more than 35% with health implications such as diabetes, respiratory issues, like that. And
Yeah, it depends on the surgeon and your insurance.
And Nicole didn't, take this lightheartedly. She looked up on the doctor, she read up about it, and it really just was the best decision for her. And I'm so proud of her to say that she has accomplished this. It's a lifestyle change. It's not something that's going to fix what she had, what she had done is not going to fix the obesity problem, because it is a battle for her. She had to change her entire lifestyle. I see it in the way that she eats, the way that she cooks for her family, but she's extremely active. She's one of the best instructors that we have here at CORE. She's a kick butt spinning instructor and just about everything else she can do. So how do you feel like it changed you?
I actually haven't felt this good since I was a teenager, and I have so much more energy and just a more positive outlook on life, and I just feel like I'm stronger for my kids, and it's just the most important thing.
So if that's something that you feel is right for you, definitely do your research on it, look up on your doctors, see the different types of bariatric surgery that are available out there, and you could have a success story too. See you next Monday.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
The changing seasons are one of the best parts about living in Pennsylvania. That and pierogies. Well, fall is on the way. It officially starts on Wednesday. Let's see if it's going to feel like the fall. This is our local forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight will be mostly cloudy. We'll get down to 46 degrees with a light wind coming from the east. On the extended forecast, Tuesday will be partly sunny with a high near 68. Tuesday night, we're back down in the upper 40s. Wednesday, sunny with a high near 71. Wednesday night, mostly clear with a low of 50 degrees. For our Thursday, sunny with a high near 73. Thursday night will be partly cloudy, once again down to 50 degrees. Another nice Friday, mostly sunny with a high of 69 degrees. And then on Friday night, partly cloudy, our low will be 47 degrees. We move on FYI to our midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers. Pick 236, pick 3 986, pick 4 5242, pick 5 58957. And your lottery numbers on FYI are brought to you by Boyer Insurance Agency, and they have two locations to serve you, one in Cunningham on Sugarloaf Avenue and the other one in Nescopec on Broad Street. You can call Boyer Insurance in Cunningham at 570-788-3543 and in Nescopec at 570-752-7683. All right, let's see what kind of legal advice we can get during the Law Talk.
Viewer question: how do you challenge someone's claim to the decedent's property?
Well, that doesn't happen too often, but it does happen. And to the family of the decedent, it's a very important issue. I could just relate to you one particular incident that we had where the decedent had a rather large IRA account with a brokerage firm, and when we contacted that brokerage firm, they said, "Oh no, we're paying this to this other person who was not even a family member." And we said, "Wait a minute, now get us some proof on that the decedent named them the beneficiary on that account." What they provided to us, we didn't think was particularly sustainable. So what we did is we had to file, and in the same situation, you would have to file a petition in the Orphans Court Division. This particular case was here in Luzerne County. We got our witnesses together, including an expert in account management, and we went to a trial. And we had a trial before the Orphans Court judge, who decided that, in fact, we were right, the brokerage house was wrong, and ordered the brokerage house to pay the account to our client, who was the decedent's son. As I said, it doesn't happen too often, but certainly it's an important issue. And if it does happen, you can't just rely on what you are told, particularly if it's something that's odd or different or something you don't agree with. And if you don't agree with, you must ask for documented proof that it was the intent of the decedent to have that account go by beneficiary designation to someone outside the family.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
I once went on a field trip to the Lackawanna coal mine tour. It was amazing. I would suggest checking it out. I don't know if it's open right now, so here's the next best thing, the high school football coal scale on FYI. However, we don't have a gift shop yet. We have two teams in the lignite grade this week who are looking for a spark. Hazelton area falls into this category, but they are at the top of this grade. After a win to open the season, they've suffered 2 straight losses. A growing program is going to suffer some setbacks, but Friday night the Cougars made a lot of mistakes, including 4 turnovers against Delaware Valley, and they never got a foothold in the game. The Big HA needs something to go their way this Friday when Williamsport comes to Harmon Guy Stadium. Shenandoah Valley, they fell to Schuylkill Haven on the road. They'll have a chance to get things going at home this week, though, when they play Panther Valley after playing some big time and much bigger schools in the first few weeks of the season. So we'll see if any of these teams can change their fortune as we move to week number 4. All right, let's check out the bituminous grade, where Tamaqua, they fall from number 2 to number 3 in this grade, and they are looking to catch fire. The Blue Raiders suffered a setback against Jim Thorpe on Friday. The Olympians are now 3-0 in a very tough anthracite league. Tamaqua has 2 losses, but they've been in both games against tough competition. They only trailed Jim Thorpe by a touchdown at the half. And after having to open the season at Lehighton, who's now 3-0 in the Anthracite League, Monoy area has played 2 home games. They've won both, and they're looking good doing it. Now we'll see what they can do in their 3rd straight home game against Minersville. They're up this week to number 2 in this grade. The Golden Bears quarterback Mason Ryan had 142 yards passing and 94 rushing in their victory on Friday. And still sitting at the top of the bituminous grade, North Schuylkill, the Spartans hold on to second place even after first place here after a 2nd straight loss to an Anthracite League contender. This week it was Lehighton who beat the Spartans. The Spartans recovered 4 onside kicks, but the Lehighton's defense stood tough. Bobby Grigas had over 150 yards passing for North Schuylkill. Now, North Schuylkill, they can make a statement this weekend. It's going to be a big Friday night for them because they're playing the top team in our rankings as we move on to the Anthracite grade. The Marion Colts continue to be our only team in the Anthracite grade. The Batlin Miners of Minersville did just that against the Colts. They battled. But in the end, it was Marion who came out on top. KJ Snurr had another big game for Marion. He rushed for 150 yards, and Stan DeCoste, Marion's head coach, now has 299 victories as Marion got their 3rd straight win of the season. To the FYI Standard Speaker Scoreboard, we do have a few local scores. Well, first we'll start in Major League Baseball. Local interest here. John Lester and the Cubs, they lost on Sunday to the Cardinals, but the postseason is getting closer and closer for Joe Madden and company, and the Cubs still have a shot at the first wildcard spot in the National League. In local soccer, Northern Lehigh, they beat Tamaqua, and Penn State Hazelton, they lost their first conference match of the year to Penn State Beaver. Both boys and men's soccer scores there. And speaking of Penn State Hazelton, we start Penn State Hazelton week on the Sportscast tomorrow with a feature on the golf team. On Wednesday, Athletic Director Ryan Erie will join me and Dave Seaman on Dave Day. And then on Thursday, we will have men's soccer and women's volleyball highlights for you from Penn State Hazelton. The Lions' roar will be very loud over the next few days right here on FYI. Well, Ron Marchetti dropped me off a Hazelton area football program today, and I found an ad in it congratulating Ron on being inducted into the Luzerne County Sports Hall of Fame. So here's our Hall of Famer with trivia treats.
21 September, trivia treats. That's what this is. Hi, everybody. It was on this night in 1985, exactly 30 years ago, that Michael Spinks became the first light heavyweight to win the heavyweight boxing crown, defeating Larry Holmes at the Riviera Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Holmes came into that bout with 48 consecutive wins, one shy of the record set by Rocky Marciano from 1948 through 1955. Also on this day in 2003, 12 years ago, Bill Parcells won his first game as coach of the Cowboys with a thrilling 35-32 overtime victory over the Giants on a Monday night at Giants Stadium. After 9 minutes of OT, Dallas kicked their 7th field goal of the game to end it. 50 years ago tomorrow in 1965, Dave Moorhead of the Boston Red Sox pitched a no-hitter to defeat the Cleveland Indians 2-0 before a crowd of only 1,247 at Fenway Park. The only Indians base runner was Rocky Colavito, who walked leading off the second inning. Only 23 when he pitched that no-hitter, Moorhead would finish his career in 1970 with a record of 40-64. 23 years ago yesterday, in 1992, Phillies second baseman Mickey Morandini pulled off an unassisted triple play in Pittsburgh. With Barry Bonds on first base and Andy Van Slyke on second, Morandini leaped to spear a line drive by Jeff King before he stepped on second to retire Van Slyke and tug out Bonds, who stopped running near second. 21 years ago tomorrow, in 1984, Georgia upset second-ranked Clemson 26-23 after trailing 26 at half. With 11 seconds left in the game, Georgia coach Vince Dooley allowed Kevin Butler to attempt a 60-yard field goal. Butler made it for the upset win in Athens, Georgia. And finally, 37 years ago tonight, in 1978, Baltimore Colts running back Joe Washington sparked a 34-27 win over the New England Patriots on a rainy Monday night at Schaefer Stadium in Foxborough by running a kickoff back for a touchdown as time was running out. And my time is running out. So see you Friday. Till then, be a good sport and stay loose.
Mondays can be rough, but you can end them on a high note. Seafood night at Bottlenecks. Choose from crab, clam, shrimp, and lobster specials, such as their little neck clams in garlic butter, only $1.95 a dozen, or handmade crab cake platter for only $8.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, orthopedic surgeon Dr. Anthony Falvello will be holding an anterior hip replacement seminar Saturday, September 26th at noon. The event will be held in the Coordinated Health Hazleton campus, located in the Churchill Mall. Light refreshments will also be served. To register or for more information, please call 1-877-247-8080, extension 36560. Our next announcement, Schuylkill County's oldest continuous downtown open-air farm market will continue from about 8 a.m. to noon through November along the first block of South Main Street East Side and the first block of East Center Street South Side. This will be held in Shenandoah. For more info, just call 570-462-2734. And finally, McCann School of Business and Technology will be hosting a free fall career fair on Friday, September 25th from noon to 3 p.m. Everyone in the community is invited and will have the opportunity to tour the campus, explore the many exciting career training opportunities, and learn about local businesses and apply for open positions. For info, just call 570-640-5115. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of Doris M. Gerhardt of Weatherly. Services Thursday at 11 a.m. at the Union Cemetery. Arrangements are under the direction of the Philip J. Jeffries Funeral Home. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Nancy Scuba of Hazel Township. Nancy, if you're watching, give us a call, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
A busy week on FYI continues tomorrow, but if you missed anything from today, you can check it out at SSPTV.com. We archive all the newscasts there. That's it for tonight. Take it easy, everyone.